Well, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Good, thanks. Yeah.
How do you feel like that your performance went? How did you rank yourself?
Yeah, obviously I always like to, I would have liked to obviously get the finish or something, but I feel like I showed some stuff that I haven't necessarily been able to show before. Obviously everyone strikes me up as a grappler, and I feel like I got a little bit more of an opportunity to show off some striking and show everyone that I'm a bit more well-rounded than maybe I get credit for. So yeah, I'm happy. Cheyanne was a solid opponent, like a great one, a great testament. Sorry, they got the fight on. A great testament to myself, to go in there against someone who's so highly touted, and yeah, I'm happy, just to secure that win.
What do you think of that knockout you just saw?
I actually missed it.
Oh, no.
Like, I just saw it on the floor. I heard everyone go, ooh.
Were there any surprises with her in there? Did the fight go kind of how you pictured it going?
I feel like more or less it was what I expected. Perhaps expected a little bit more aggression out of her, but I feel like she was, very respectful of my grappling. So I guess I understand her maybe not wanting to press forward as much as maybe we've seen from her in the past. But no, it went pretty much how I expected. She's a very strong girl. Made it difficult for the takedown in that second round. Obviously, she got crisp striking and everything, so we had some good trades, and yeah, it was pretty much how I saw it going, really.
We have this new fighter, 18-year-old. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. Rosas, thank you. And at one point, you were the youngest fighter, and I'm just curious if you have any advice for him, what it takes, and maybe what you learned that you didn't know going in at that age.
Yeah, he's actually been a alpha male quite a bit. So I've actually seen him around. I saw him at the PI the other day. That kid's got a crazy amount of experience. He seems very mature for his age and everything in terms of the sport. So I don't really think he needs advice. I feel like the sport is getting younger. There's a lot more kids that are growing up within the industry now, as opposed to like getting into it later in life. A lot of kids are getting into martial arts and kind of growing within the sport. So I feel like we're going to see a lot more like youngsters in the UFC, and I feel like the age doesn't always line up with the experience. Like when I was, as you say, I got into the UFC, I think I just turned 21, and I had more experience than most of the 30-year-olds in there. It's just people see that you're young and they just make assumptions. But I feel like in the sport, experience kind of matters more than age, and I think the kid's got a really great future ahead of him.
And what's your goal for 2023?
I'd like to stay busy. Obviously I got 3 fights this year. That was great. Like, that's always been my goal, like 3 fights a year. I think this is the first year I've actually been able to do that, like outside of like injuries and everything. So yeah, I just like to continue the momentum and see where it takes me, really.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats on the win. Awesome performance. Does it feel just a little bit better that you guys were the main event of the preliminaries and you turned it into the McKenna show?
Yeah, that's really cool. It's just moving my way up the card. Obviously, it just shows that I'm making the steps in the right direction, and I hope I put on a performance worthy of it.
Absolutely. And speaking of the right direction, without giving out too much of the game plan, because you might have another opponent coming up similar, what did you guys drill? Because you definitely had her figured out. You were a step ahead, and exactly when you let her get comfortable, you took it down, kept it there. It was just really, you were like firing on all cylinders tonight.
Yeah, I feel like, so with myself personally, a lot with camps, it's a lot more on my personal skill development as opposed to fixating on my opponents. Obviously, we knew that on paper it was your generic striker versus grappler, so I knew that if I got her backing up, I'd be able to eventually like press her to the cage and start working my area, which is, I'm very comfortable on the cage, like wrestling and grappling and making it like a bit more of a grindy fight. But I also wanted to showcase my striking a little bit more. Obviously, she's a very technical striker, and I felt like that allowed me to kind of come into my own a little bit in that area and show everybody that I am comfortable on my feet too. So yeah, I pretty much I knew that the easier path to victory was to implement my own game, which is what I naturally take to, which was the wrestling. And I wanted to just throw in there a little bit of striking and stuff. But yes, it kind of lined up well without needing too much strict game planning.
Excellent. And you beat me to the next question, the hands. You look very good in there, real comfortable. Were you a little bit surprised that you were just getting through her guard so easily? Because those hands started to really come up, which enabled you to get the takedown.
Yeah, I work a lot of striking. I actually started in striking, so it's kind of ironic, really. But like I am very comfortable on the feet. Obviously, I might not I still get a lot of hate for the Reed fight. And I'm aware of it. Like that wasn't a good fight. I went into the fight with a broken orbital. Like I was scared to get hit. Like it wasn't good. So for me, it's like I wanted to go out there and show everyone that I am comfortable on the feet. And I think I did. I think I got to do that tonight against Cheyanne, who is a very highly considered fighter. She's obviously had a lot of great performances with her striking, and yeah, I was happy to show that I can stand with girls like that.
Excellent. And you mentioned moving up the rankings, maybe not a top 15 or top 10, but who stands out to you? Who does McKenna say, you know what, that would be a fun fight, or she would test me if we got in the cage together?
Honestly, the division is growing so rapidly. We looked at it like when they were offering opponents, we looked at like the whole division and we were just like, wow, like this division is like everyone's a test. Like I don't think I could pick anyone on the division and be like, that's an easy fight. Especially not now where I'm at in the, amongst the girls. So honestly, like I'm at the point where I'm probably just going to take what they give me. I'm not a picky person anyway, and I'm in the UFC, so I expect nothing but the best. And I'm sure I'm going to get that here.
That's awesome. Anytime, anywhere. And last for me, just for fun, holiday season's right around the corner. If you'd like to share a nice holiday memory for your fans, or if you got one where you got like a horrible gift for Christmas.
Honestly, for as long as I can remember, my Christmas gifts have pretty much been the same. I get like a new pair of headphones and like some running shoes, and then I go for a run. So yeah, probably just training.
Can't go wrong with that. Thank you, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.